You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again, welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the action you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeater on Ron Siegel Radio, Peggy Huang. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me back.
Glad to have you with us. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am a consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Now, this one might be, in some instances, might be a little healthier than my traditional celebrations here. Today is National Bouillabaisse Day. I love seafood. So where are you going for some good bouillabaisse? Where's your favorite bouillabaisse? Not a whole lot of difference. Bouillabaisse and cioppino, aren't they about the same thing? I don't, pretty close, but I'll go with either one. There's lots of fish in there, lots of shellfish. Not good for my gout, but that's a different story. But you know, it's nice that it's cold out today.
It's freezing and raining hard.
And raining. We never get rain in Southern California except for that 1 or 2 days a year. But cold, rainy. I might have to go find some bouillabaisse for. The bride's not going to be around tonight, so I'm on my own, so I'll find someplace. Now let's take a look at the markets. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 182 points. The S&P 500 is down 58. NASDAQ down 289 points. Ow! So the Dow is down 0.5%. The NASDAQ is down 1.87%. Triple the Dow. So it's not a pleasant day. If you are into the NASDAQ stocks, that's not where you want to be. Unless you're buying. Today's a good day to be out there buying NASDAQ stock. I don't give financial advice, but if I were to give financial advice, right, buy on the days when the market's down, not when the market is up. Let's see, the 10-year Treasury up about 2 basis points, 1.437. Germany, they're still giving you a negative interest rate over there on their 10-year, so that's not good. Federal Reserve is meeting today and tomorrow. We'll get their report tomorrow. About 11 o'clock our time, we get the report. 11:30, we'll start the press conference with the Federal Reserve Chairman. Watch for volatile markets whenever the chairman speaks. The markets are volatile. They overreact. Then on Thursday, they'll come out and they'll say what he really meant and correct whatever the misinterpretations were. Just the way it works. Let's move right along. 37 NFL players tested positive on Monday for COVID. 37 players. And they're all vaccinated. That's a fascinating subject. Now the NFL says by December 27th, they must all have their booster shot. Okay. There'll be some teams that are out of the playoffs by then. I wonder if the players are going to get vaccinated or get the booster. That booster 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20. I don't know which one they need, but and I don't know whether we need all of them, but that's a whole different subject. Watched an interesting interview this morning. You're not going to see this anywhere else. But think about this one. So we know the issues of COVID, right? And obviously we never wish ill on anybody. But maybe we could put this into perspective a little. Now, you're not going to get this on MSNBC Hee Haw or the Clown News Network or any of these others. But think about this one. 800,000 deaths to date, roughly, with COVID. About 800,000 in the U.S. We get 40 to 50,000 deaths every month from the side effects of smoking. Do you hear that on the news every day? I don't seem to see that death count every single day on the news. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing it, but I'm just throwing that out there. I don't see that one. Maybe you see that. Basically, whenever the news stations start with all their COVID coverage, that is an indication to me to change the channel, right? Because all it is propaganda, right? Now that we've got the medical community after a year has a much better handle, and I've told you, I've talked to some of the doctors firsthand. They've got a better handle on how to treat COVID. They don't have it mastered, obviously. There's no mastering of anything in science except for flip-flop Fauci. He thinks he knows something. He's the face of science. I think he's a face of something else, and it has to do with my dog running away, but that's a different story, right? But that's a whole issue right there. But the doctors, they know how to treat it better now. So you got to wonder, does the vaccine work? That's I just ponder questions. And don't go telling me that I'm an anti-vaxxer, because yes, I have been vaccinated. Most of my family's been vaccinated, so that's not the issue. But if we've got this many people dying from COVID and they're vaccinated, I just question that. We've got to get a mask mandate back here in Calizuela, right? And you'll wonder, because I haven't heard about overrunning hospitals anymore. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the hospital, right? I've heard that. But wearing a mask everywhere indoors, do you think I'm going to let the mask police into my house? Probably not. I don't know how many restaurants, how many businesses. Think about this. December 15th through January 15th. Is there something magic about these dates? So is it that we wear masks for the holidays, or the governor thinks we're going to? And I will share with you that I did just get my Go branded masks. I've got 5 of them. I've got them in all different designs. I wonder what kind of commentary that'll get, especially here in California. I move right along. And thinking about how great we are doing in our Build Back Better program. Well, or the infrastructure program. Think about this one. We did get producer price index this morning. That's a scary number. This is inflation measured at the producer level. This doesn't get to you and I yet. It will. 9.6%. Now think about that. Let's just do a little bit of Ron Siegel radio math. And it's scary when you do Ron Siegel radio math and you haven't done the math in advance, but I'm a simple person, right? So if we have an item that sells for $1 at the retail store, and let's just say the retailer is making 30%, right? So they paid 70 cents for that. Right now we've got that going up 9.6%. Can I just call that 10% for easy math? So now we're at 77 cents for that product. Well, now they're going to want to make 30% again. So that's going to be right around $1.10, right? So that's going to mean that our CPI is up 10% because you're adding a percentage of the profit. Now, are the producers going to pass along all of this? Yeah, some will, because they're already working thin. Some may not. I'm noticing a lot of restaurants. Obviously, I am well built, full figured, I guess, the terminology, right? So I'm noticing a lot of restaurants are spending a lot of money on printing now, right? Their prices of their menus are going up, and I'm not sure. Maybe they're going to have to start doing. Maybe that's why they've got the QR code on the table. It's cheaper, right? You scan the QR code, it gives you their menu. The menu price has changed. They didn't even have to go to the printer for that one. Yeah. Not pleasant. And did you hear this one? The Build Back Better plan. They might have to rebrand this one. Now, the White House probably won't, and Nancy Pelosi won't. But they're starting to see what's in this bill. Now, they want to get it passed before Christmas. Why? That way you don't know what's in it. right? Because if anybody ever had a chance to read, well, wait a second, they haven't even written it yet. But if anybody had a chance to read it and they see, okay, we're going to give tax breaks to the rich in California, New Jersey, and New York. That's called SALT. And we're going to stop funding low-income hospitals in low-income areas in red states. That's all part of the bill. You're not hearing that, are you? These are some of the things. So is it a Build Back Better or Democrats pay their donors? Which one is that? Can somebody help me with that? You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to talk about a building initiative. We'll learn about it, advice for first-generation home buyers, and how to earn cash back while shopping online and in stores. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if we miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Love having backups, right? I'm not on the phone while I'm talking to you, but being that one of my programs on the computer is not coming through, got to have the backup. Take a look at the Dow Jones, now down 174 points, a little under 0.5%. NASDAQ is down 292 points, a little under 2% down for the day. The S&P 500 is down 57 points, almost 58 points. The 10-year Treasury yield up 1 basis point. Mortgage-backed securities, they're down 5 basis points. That's a lot of correction from where it was earlier. It was down a lot worse earlier in the session. But why are all these things happening? All that data is available right there on the super secret website. That would be google.com. Well, it has to do with inflation, right? The markets don't like, the bonds especially. Bonds don't like inflation. And when we watch inflation, I think it was 1974 was the last time the producer price index was at this kind of a level. You know what was going on in 1974? Yeah, we were in the middle of a recession back then. And that's when we were seeing producer prices up at this kind of a level. So are we heading to a recession? A lot of people think so, because you can't keep up this pace. It's not possible to keep up with real estate going up at double-digit rates. You're looking at gas prices. If you have, now wait a second, breaking news, another item that's in the Build Back Better bill. How about for those people that spend over $50,000 on an electric vehicle, you get a rebate from the Build Back Better bill. Now, why would that be? People that are earning over $50,000. You don't think the people that are, I'm sorry, not earning over. It's the cars that are over $50,000, not earning over $50,000. Cars over $50,000, and then you get a rebate if it's on the electric vehicle. If you're buying a car over $50,000, you can probably afford the car. right? You don't need somebody to give you a rebate. Maybe it's the guy that has the $10,000 clunker that's getting 2 miles to the gallon because it still doesn't have a catalytic. Oh, wait, we have catalytic converters. I don't know anything about mechanics, but right, they're getting 2 miles to the gallon. Maybe we can help them get a car that might be a little bit more fuel efficient. And I'm not for government handouts at all, but somebody that's buying a $50,000 car does not need a rebate. Just my opinion. NFIB small business optimism index rose slightly, but the important components within showed that current and future compensation plans held at record highs and plans for higher prices rose to the highest levels since 1979. This makes sense with the significant increase in producer prices and sounds like more inflation on the horizon. CoreLogic released their loan performance insights showing that loans 30 days or more past due decreased from 4% to 3.9% in September. 90 days plus or seriously delinquent decreased from 2.6 to 2.4. Foreclosures remained at 0.2%, lowest level in 2 decades. And we continue to see the delinquency picture improve thanks to appreciation. Why would you want to go into a distressed situation if you've got more and more liquidity and you've got more and more equity in your property? So who's going into foreclosure? Generally, now somebody that's probably not paying a whole lot of attention. They've got their head in the sand. That's not the way to do it. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Peggy Huang is with us. We're talking about a new initiative. So tell us the initiative that you're working on, Peggy.
Well, the initiative is called Our Neighborhood Voices. You can find more about the initiative at ourneighborhoodvoices.com. This is a very important initiative to beat back Sacramento, taking away local control. As it stands right now,
Sacramento is trying to take away local control?
absolutely. There is no reason for cities to even exist. We now officially live in the city-state of Sacramento.
Unbelievable. We've
Surprise!
We've talked about that one before, right? Sacramento, they've gone way overboard. Maybe, my opinion, and I don't know whether you share this or not, Peggy. I think that a lot of this has to do with the single-party elections, right? I mean, if you're you either get liberal or more liberal. Those are our options, basically.
You're absolutely right. There's no check and balances anymore.
That's a big issue right there. Check and balances.
Yeah.
Right. Regardless of what party it is, you want check and balances.
Yeah.
And you don't have a media.
And the media's with the very far left. They're not checking and balancing anybody. And they're promoting their agenda. Definitely, I think that's the problem with the single party rule. And that's why we have, in the last 4 years, 67 housing bills, chipping away local control to what we have today with the passage of Senate Bill 9 and 10 this year, which basically take away local land use and zoning out of local government's hands. It is now in Sacramento's hand. Sacramento legislators have declared, and with the help of the California YIMBYs, have declared that they want all state land use and zoning laws to be in the hands of Sacramento.
So it seems kind of odd because I don't know about you, right? But if you live in Indio, you may have different needs than somebody in Modesto or Yorba Linda.
Correct.
Right? I mean, and none of them are wrong.
There is nothing wrong. This is just because they're a group of special interest people. They said, we don't like playing roles, but we've got lots of money. We're going to go and take advantage of the single party rule in Sacramento and destroy communities and build the way we want. If you live in a single family home right now, do you want a 4-story apartment right next door to you? You can't sunbathe anymore. You can't do anything. There'll be massive privacy violation. But on top of that, think about it. No parking requirements. Wow. So all those cars, where are they going to land? In front of your yard? For sure.
Is it illegal to have tax strips? I shouldn't say that, right? I mean, what you're saying is exactly right. I mean, you're going to end up having, well, if there's no parking, where are they going to go? Maybe on the lawn?
Somebody's. And what's worse, the most dangerous bills of all of these was Senate Bill 10. Senate Bill 10 allows the majority of the city council. So in Yorba Linda, like a lot of cities, there are 5 members of the city council. It allows 3 of those city council members to override the people's initiatives. So if your city had passed a ballot box zoning where the people said, I want to have a say on how my community is developed, and any upzoning of any piece of property has to receive the approval of the voters, 3 members of the city council can override that ordinance. How can you override it?
It should be the other way around, right? The people override the elected officials. Who works for who?
Right. And this is completely developers' dreams or a special interest. I don't want to target my developer friends. I've got some good, responsible developer friends, especially in the affordable housing side, where they want to do the right thing. But there are some people who are just saying, I don't want to do it. I don't want to play any rules. I don't want any regulations. So they got together with their buddies in Sacramento, override local control. And now the city, starting January 1st, will be rubber stampers.
So do you have to be a California corporation or California individual to be trying to push these things? Or can somebody in New York come and be making big donations to our politicians in Sacramento, who then come and put in these initiatives, and then we who want to live here or do live here are stuck with some guy from New York's?
Absolutely, that there's no requirements other than you have to be a U.S. citizen or a U.S. corporations for these political action committee. So and the contribution limit, there aren't any. So you see LLCs, limited liability corporations, big home builders, all coming together, and big tech is playing in this game as well, having you feel the brunt of their growth and them not contributing to that.
Didn't we hear somebody say something about fair share somewhere? I don't know where. Maybe I missed that. I mean, they want us as individuals to pay more in taxes, but these corporations have a way of using the laws. I mean, I'm not saying they're breaking the law. They're using the laws. They're using the rules to get away from it, right? Get away from these things. It's amazing how we have to live with this.
Absolutely. And I want to stress how important this initiative is, because, we've been talking a lot about party politics and one-sided rules, but what's so great about this initiative is the coming together of grassroots activists across party lines. We have Democrats, Republicans, Decline to State, Green Party, Libertarians, American Independent, coming together and saying it is wrong for Sacramento to take away local control. Imagine that. When the people come together and say, hey, forget the party ideology, that's a sign for our elected leaders to wake up and say, well, maybe I screwed up somewhere.
Not in California.
Not in California. But it's, this coalition that we put together, it is bipartisan or tripartisan. Actually, this is the actual committee is Brand Huang Mendoza Tripartisan Initiative. It started by Mayor Brand, a Democrat from Redondo Beach. I am one of the proponents. I'm Republican from Belinda. We have Javita Mendoza from Brentwood. Actually, I don't even know her party affiliation. And Dennis Richards and John Heath, president of United Neighbors. I don't even know their party affiliation. Well, how great is that when people don't know each other's party affiliation?
That's beauty, right? That's when it's nice when we have we can get some things done where we don't care about the party, we care about the community, we care about the benefits. We're going to talk more with Peggy Huang when we come back. We're also going to talk a little bit about advice for first-generation homebuyers, how to earn cash back while shopping online and in stores, all that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-301-990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. With every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564 or visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out what your property value is on a monthly basis. We'll give you the updates every single month. And it's compliments of Ron Siegel Radio. Advice for first-generation home buyers. Sense of pride you'll feel when you purchase a home cannot be overstated for first-generation home buyers. That feeling of accomplishment is even greater. That's because the pride of home ownership for first-generation buyers extends far beyond the home buyer. A.J. Barkley, head of neighborhood and community lending for Bank of America, says, quote, achieving this goal can create a sense of pride and accomplishment that resonates both for the buyer and those closest to them, including their parents and future generations, unquote. In other words, your dream of home ownership has far-reaching impacts. If you're about to be the first person in your family to buy a home, let that motivate you throughout the process. As you begin your journey, here are three helpful tips to make that dream come true. Number one, reach out to a real estate professional. It's important to reach out to a trusted advisor early in your home buying process. Not only can an agent help you find the right home, but they'll serve as your expert advisor and answer any questions you might have along the way. The latest profile of home buyers and sellers from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, surveyed first-time home buyers to see how their agent helped them with their home purchase. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing a chart. How real estate agents help first-time buyers. 85% help buyers understand the process. 64% point out unnoticed features and faults within the property. 52% negotiated better sales contract terms. As the graph shows, your agent is a great resource of information throughout the process. They'll help you understand what's happening, assess a home's condition, and negotiate a contract that has the best possible terms for you. These are just some of the reasons having an expert in your corner is critical as you navigate one of the most significant purchases of your life. Number two, do your research and know what you can afford. The second piece of advice for first-generation home buyers is practical. Do your research so you know what you can afford. That means getting your finances in order. Review your budget and getting pre-approved through a lender. It also means learning the ins and outs of what it takes to pay for your home, including what you'll need for a down payment. Many home buyers believe the common misconception, myth, that you can't purchase a home without coming up with 20% for a down payment. Freddie Mac says, quote, the most damaging down payment myth, since it stops the home buying process before it can start, is the belief that 20% is necessary, unquote. Another chart for you. Today's median down payment, first-time buyers. You ready for this one? How much the first-time buyer median price is? 7%. 7. That's all, 7%. That means a $500,000 property in Orange County. Yes, there are some. That's $35,000 down. 13% for all home buyers overall. Number three, don't lose sight of what home means to you. It means something different to everybody. 73% of first-generation homeowners say the safety and security home ownership provides is increasing in importance. Nearly 2/3 of first-generation homeowners say the importance of building equity in a home is growing more important as well. Bottom line, if you're a first-generation home buyer, being prepared and working with a trusted expert is key. Why do you think we talk about the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio? Again, text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Getting back to our conversation with Peggy Huang, we're talking about our Neighbor Voices Initiative. We talked about a lot of background in the last segment. If you missed it, shame on you. But we didn't really get into what it is, Peggy. Tell us a little bit more in depth of what you're talking about here.
Well, the initiative that we are now gathering signatures for is to bring local control back. So very simple. It is to make all land use and zoning laws a municipal affair. So when there is a state housing law or state land use or zoning law that is in conflict with a local ordinances, the local ordinance will trump the state law. And this, talking about local choices and giving people choices is that if a city wants the state laws, let the state take over. Hey, they can do that. But if a city wants to determine its own destiny, how the community should look, they can pass their own land use and zoning laws, and their rules will trump the state.
Kind of fascinating in California.
I know. What do you think?
Here's the thing that I've noticed over time in California is we vote for these officials to go to Sacramento, and then we do everything we can as a community to take away every bit of authority that they have. I think of it. I mean, we've got these laws for that Sacramento. I don't know all of them, right? But Sacramento can has a right to tax. But then we say, okay, well, we want to bring it back and make sure that the communities approve it if it's a certain type of tax, right? All these different things that are generally something that we want our elected officials to do. And then we bring the initiatives and say, I don't trust you to do these things. And it makes sense to me because they abuse their authority every time.
They completely abuse it. And somehow I said to you, when you enter the white building in Sacramento, you all of a sudden you go into it. It's sort of like law school. I used to think law school is like a manufacturer. You go in there, all different shapes and sizes, and they stamp you out, and all lawyers start to sound the same. It's a group thing. They go into the Capitol, and all the legislators start thinking the same. We're so much better. We think globally. You start hearing them say, "This is what's good for the state. We do this good for the state. Forget what's good for the community. It's what's good for the state." And we're saying here at the local level, saying, hello, Yorba Linda and Modesto, Bay Area, Cupertino and Riverside, city of Riverside may be similar in size, but they're different in characteristics.
Sure.
We need to respect that. That's the beauty about America, right? It's always been individualism. That's what we're about, and liberty, and the ability to have good dialogue with one another and producing the best result. Yeah. Well, what happened over there?
We don't have to agree, right?
Right.
But we do have. But in my opinion, we should be respectful.
Very respectful. And what's wrong with all these 67 housing bills that have been passed for the last 4 years has been about creating rental market for the next generation, for my children, your children, and grandchildren. I love what you just talked about, first generation home buyers. None of these 67 bills, and Senate Bill 910 being the most controversial of this year, they do not help first-time home buyers. They do not help first-generation home buyers. It does nothing to help those who want to create generational wealth.
It's our future.
Their future. How do you help people out of poverty? Keep them in rental units, subject them to landlords increasing prices, or we help them buy a house and build equity. We saw through COVID how a lot of people, like, especially those in service industries, using their garage to provide those services, running new business out of their garage.
Sure.
Can't do that if you live in a little condo, which is what Sacramento wants. They want you to live in a 1,800 square foot luxury apartment, condo, whatever it is. You can't run a business out of that.
Where you can't run a business out of that, and you can't afford then to go to the French Laundry for dinner for $15,000 and a few of your friends.
Of course not. You don't have the ability to generate wealth at all. And this is why I love how the initiative and exactly your message is coming together. Is we want to help the next generation.
There was a fascinating and what kind of going along the same lines of what you just said, Peggy. I don't know if I'm going to get this right because we didn't plan on talking about this, but it was a message from Elon Musk just recently, basically saying, at 18 years old, we have no problem giving you a $100,000 student loan, but we won't give you a $10,000 business loan. Right?
Right.
We're missing something here. There's a disconnect.
You have a higher probability of repaying that $10,000 business loan because you're out there creating, you're innovating, and you're building a business, building equity, than a student loan, and you may not be picking the right major that gives you a job to pay it off. Right?
Wait, you want a job?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sorry. I forgot.
This is California.
California, wrong generation.
Yeah, exactly. Californians, we don't need jobs. We got Sacramento giving everybody and their uncle money, right? And then making the latest is as the governor's looking for his way around the abortion laws. If the Supreme Court doesn't agree with the governor, we're going to be a sanctuary abortion state. And I don't care what side of the fence you are on abortion. I'm kind of on the side of the fence that the Supreme Court still means something.
Absolutely. And, again, it goes back to check and balances, isn't it?
Right.
In Sacramento, what they do actually back in 2004, when they started taking local control, was they took away the city's ability to challenge the Sacramento, the Housing and Community Development Office, on any of these affordable housing issues. We can no longer sue the state when they're wrong.
Well, that's most of the time. There's not enough courts for that.
There's not.
We're going to continue our conversation with Peggy Huang when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also chat how to earn cash back while shopping online and in stores. I don't know about that. I might give my wife a little more ammunition for going shopping, but that's a different story. You can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the Your Credit Matters segment today, being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com, MySoCalLender.com. How to earn cash back while shopping online and in stores. Coupons, discounts are not the only way to save money on everyday purchases, whether you're making the weekly grocery run, or shopping for a special occasion. You can stack cashback apps, reward portals, discounts, coupons, and other offers to save money on almost anything. Drives me nuts. I mean, I hate when you go to the grocery store and they want to know your phone number or your rewards number so that you get the price that you should have got in the first place on something. Just my opinion. Use cashback apps unless you want to spend too much money. Cashback apps let you earn back rewards or points you can redeem for cashback for in-store purchases. These apps tend to start with a focus such as cashback on groceries or at a gas station. Yes, I have my Costco Visa card, so I get cash back. And expand as they grow. Some of the most popular include Ibotta, Fetch Rewards, and Get Upside. But there are others you can try as well. Often you need to accept an offer in the app and then purchase the item from an eligible retailer. Many, but not all, cashback offers are for brand name products. The offers may be for a percentage of your purchase amount or a specific reward. For example, you might get $1 cash back when you buy a specific type of milk, 5% cash back at a nearby restaurant. Which one? If you find the same offer in multiple apps, you can often double dip and earn cash back multiple times from a single purchase. You also may need to verify the purchase by uploading a picture of your receipt, but some cashback apps let you automatically earn the cash rewards after you make eligible purchases with a linked credit or debit card. I got the whole report here if you want it. I'm not going to go through all of it with you, but just give me a call at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Continue our conversation with Peggy Huang this morning. Our Neighbor Voices initiative. I don't want to cause any kind of grief here, but Peggy, during our brief break here, and if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or in our socials as we recorded live in the morning, our breaks are less than a minute. I know Josh changes them for radio in the afternoon so that we have the appropriate numbers and whatnot. But, we're talking briefly, and I'm getting a lot of clients right now. A lot of people on the lending team are asking me about moving out of state. So there is a website that I frequent, not that one, get your minds out of there, but it's called How Money Walks. And it shows the latest numbers. California has lost, you ready for this one? Since from 1992 to 2019, this is average. So $82.32 billion in annual adjusted gross income. $82 billion. Now, think about the tax. Just if we had a normal tax, and we don't have normal taxes here, but if we had like 5% state tax, that's $4 billion every year, right? Think about that. Now, where are they going to? Let's see if we can find a common denominator here. Now they're coming to visit you, Josh, out in Nevada, $18.4 billion, $18.5 billion. Texas, $13.8 billion. Arizona, $13.2 billion. $11 billion going to Oregon, I don't know why, and Washington, $10.3. Where do they come from to California? Now, this is net, right? That's net numbers. From New York, $8.44 billion. I don't know why they're coming here and not Florida. $5.83 billion from Illinois, $4.11 billion from New Jersey, $3 billion from Massachusetts, and $1.8 from Pennsylvania. Now think about that. So the number 5 import is at $1.7 billion. The number 5 outbound is $10 billion. Right?
We're losing.
We're losing here, but not if you listen to the governor. Right? So it's just throwing numbers. There's just statistics, right? I mean, that's a lot of money to be leaving the state.
A tremendous amount of talent is leaving.
Yeah, that's a whole issue right there. So think about the brain power.
Yeah.
Right. What is that going to do for our schools? It's going to bring, and I'm not prejudiced against anybody or socioeconomic group, but something if our kids are being surrounded, these people are leaving our state. They've got kids too. Right. And what's that thing that says that you are the conglomeration of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most? Sorry, Josh, I bring you down, buddy, but that's a whole different story. Right. So think about these things. I mean, maybe it's some of these initiatives, maybe if we can get Sacramento to listen to us.
Absolutely. And, our Neighborhood Voices is a collection of activists, concerned residents who want Sacramento to start paying attention to what's going on at the ground level. And if you don't, we are losing talents. We're losing good people to other states. And what do we have is just a lot of high rises owned by investors that can't afford to leave it empty. They don't need people inside. But that's not going to
That's
help
an
any
interesting
community.
thought. Is so they can build the high rise and they don't even have to have a tenant.
No, if they're investor owned, then why would we have investors all over the world parking their money in California, in the
Sure.
United States. So why would they care whether somebody's in there or not? We building the community, elected leaders, we want stakeholders in the community. Renters and empty homes do not build community, right? And we want renters to be able to move into a home and really plant their roots. The hallmark of any community, if we go back and we think about what we consider home outside the physical building, is our community, and that's made up of stakeholders who have roots in the community.
That's a fascinating thought, though, because we don't think of the side effects of all these things, right? So people are moving out. We get investors buying property and say, well, that's good because that increases the demand for the property. But if they don't have anybody living in that property because they're just parking money there, who's going to the neighborhood restaurant, right? Who's going to the neighborhood haircutter? I mean, obviously, I don't go to a haircutter because I don't have much hair. But who's going to the neighborhood salon or just a neighborhood business?
It's or looking out for each other. I think as elected leaders and community leaders, I'm not focused just on tax base and providing amenities for my city, but I'm looking at building the community to make sure that there is someone to look out for each other. And we don't have empty homes. Empty homes with manicure lawn does not do anything for our city's image. It is
Sure.
the people that really builds the character of the community.
Absolutely. So how do we get involved with this initiative, Peggy?
Well, we love for your listeners to visit our website, ourneighborhoodvoices.com. Sign up to be a volunteer and help us gather the signatures. We need 1.4 million signatures to get this thing on this ballot. We're fighting against big money from the big tech in the Bay Area to the real estate developer to the real estate investors. We need your help with those signatures. We also need funding. Again, we're fighting against big money. Everybody we're working on are activists. They're just mom, pops, small businesses, people who care about building community, people who want to say, enough, Sacramento, you need to listen to us. We know what's good for our community, not somebody who is 400 miles away and engaged in groupthink what's best for the state and not for the community. So we appreciate it if you can donate to us.
Think about this concept. I mean, in this day and age of the ultra polarized society that we live in, if you can get Democrats, Republicans to come together on an initiative, it's got to be something special.
It is, and
Right?
it's absolutely, that's one thing that's been great in this journey of showing people what true nonpartisan agenda looks like. When you are working for the people that you represent or the people that you care about in your community, there's no such thing as political ideology. It's all about what's good for the community. So we came together. I don't know the party affiliation of of all the people in our coalition. It's a big coalition, but the main thing is I don't care.
Right.
I don't care about your party affiliation. I want to know, do you want to be part of the cause to bring local control back? And the answer is yes. And if that's your answer, I'd love to work with you. Don't care if you're from the Green Party.
So think about this concept, right? Because we did watch some of this just recently, and I've got some friends in Anaheim Hills that, the Mormon church was sold to a developer, and the people got out on the street. They did not want to put a senior community in that location. They got out there and they picketed. They went and fought at the city council. Where are all those people? They need to be part of your group.
Absolutely.
Right? That way you can take care, bring back the local control. I don't know what you want there, Anaheim, but it doesn't matter to me. Right? Come out there and it needs doesn't need to be what Sacramento wants there. It needs to be what Anaheim wants there.
It's what Anaheim needs, right?
Sure.
If you have a city that's aging in population, you might need a senior home. But if you have a community that is growing in young families, you need single family homes.
Might need a park.
Or a park.
Right? Something like exactly what fits in.
Exactly. And so we can't just have Sacramento telling us what to do. Sacramento is making the choice of where you live, not allowing you to choose where you live.
Wow. Yeah, that's yeah. Well, that doesn't sound like America. Well, this is California. That doesn't sound like America, right? Some bureaucrat, 500 miles away, telling us where we have to live, what we can do, who we can go see, all that, any of that kind of stuff.
And how you can live as well, the size of your home, because they don't want you to own single family home. Senate Bill 9 splits a lot of a single family home into duplexes. So they don't want you to have single family home. They don't want you to have a yard. We strive for the American dream of single family home with picket fences and a yard for our
White picket
dogs.
fence and the pool in the backyard and enjoying it. Ourneighborhoodvoices.com is the website. Ourneighborhoodvoices.com. I'm looking at it right now. Real nice website. Go there, visit them, look at what it's all about. If you're excited about it, sign the petition, donate your money, donate your time, get off your butt. That's all. Well, that's my part of it, right? So if you want more information about this, give me a call, 800-306-1990. If you want to meet Peggy, again, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A very big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.